On the 18th of May 2019, Manchester City demolished Watford 6-0 in the FA Cup final. The win gave City a historic domestic treble of winning the Premier League and League Cup alongside this victory. It was a perfect performance, the biggest FA Cup final win in well over 100 years. There was nothing to be unhappy about. Or was there? During the team's celebration on the pitch, the TV cameras spotted City coach Pep Guardiola in an intense conversation with Raheem Sterling, who managed to score 2 of City's goals that day. The Spaniard waved his arms frantically and was shouting at a player who probably just wanted to get the party started. Pundits and fans alike labelled this as just typical Guardiola, always animated and always coaching. But he was actually using a tool, something that allows teams to become elite, something that allows every member of the collective grow and develop into the absolute best version of themselves. And that tool is a hot debrief. A what? Well, I'm sure you've heard of a debrief. After some event or project is ended, the people involved will sit down to reflect, go through what went well and what didn't. What were things that should have been done better and what can be done in future to avoid the same mistakes? This is important in any performance setting, but the problem is most debriefs are cold. In other words, they happen too late. For example, a team loses a match on a Saturday and the team members go home dejected and then spend Sunday recovering, and then come Monday, they come back into the club to go over the performance. And the problem here is that too much time has passed. Their memories of the game are now blurred, many key moments now forgotten. They've lost the opportunity for valuable learning points. So instead, the hot debrief is instantaneous. It happens when you're fresh out of the oven of the event. It's just happened. It's on the top of your mind. You're able to communicate your true, honest feelings and thoughts on the event, and they haven't been warped by time passing so that you get a really misinterpreted perception of them. And the hot debrief originated in healthcare. It was designed to be used after clinical events, such as an emergency operation or resuscitating someone. The idea behind it was that in such settings, hospital staff were often always having to move on to the next thing. There's often no time for reflection, regular debriefs would be delayed, or the event debriefs were about would become blurred with everything else going on. The hot debrief instead offers a quick and instantaneous opportunity for open feedback. Its open nature naturally leads to more participation from everyone involved and has the added bonus of people being able to more accurately recall events. So going back to Pep Guardiola, he didn't coach Sterling on the pitch because he's an obsessive, he just knew that the players would be going back to the changing room to get the party started. Also, as it was City's last game of the season, there wouldn't have been an opportunity to debrief the following Monday. So it had to be hot. Guardiola needed to give Sterling some actionable feedback whilst everything was fresh in his mind before it would become fuzzy after a few beers in the changing room. So how can you run a hot debrief? Well, you can follow the stop for 5 minutes method. So S is for summarize the case. So just give a brief objective account of what happened. You may have conceded a last minute goal, or if you're doing a running training session, you might be missing your running splits by 5 seconds per mile. Then T is for things that went well. So always try and find some positives that you can then double down on. So going back to the running example, you might have not been making your times, but your movement in your upper body might have been perfect. Then O is opportunities to improve. The key here is just to detach from your emotions as much as possible. I know that can sometimes be hard if it's particularly frustrating, but going back to that running example, it might be that your foot placement was suffering as each mile rep came to the end. You just need to be very specific, give yourself something very tangible to then work on. Then P is points to action and responsibilities. So based on the previous 2 steps, you need to identify some specific actions that you're going to take in your next performance or training session. So that goes for both the things you're going to double down on and then also the weaknesses you're going to overcome. And it's as simple as that. The hot debrief is a super effective way to improve as a team or as an individual because it just allows that instantaneous nature to avoid memories of events becoming corrupt, you overthinking them, mulling over them too much, and instead just gives you a really proactive approach to deal with the things that you need to improve on. Hope that helps you develop as a performer, and I'll see you in the next one.